Mr. Edwards, you are returning to our courtroom today because during your last appearance, you received shocking results and learned you were not the father of a woman you believed was your daughter, Ms. LaConda Casey.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you're back today questioning if you are indeed the biological father of yet another daughter, the defendant, Ms. Webb. Now, Ms. Webb, you claim that while you've always believed Mr. Edwards is your dad, you hope today's results prove he is not your biological
Yes, Your
father,
Honor.
and that another man is.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Casey, thank you for returning to court. You're here today to receive results from new DNA testing we've done as we continue to try to help you find your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
We will have those results shortly. But first, Mr. Edwards, did you have doubts as to whether or not Ms. Webb was your biological child?
No doubts.
You never had a doubt?
No.
So why are we here?
So now, what has fueled your doubt so much so that you're here today?
Last time I came here to your courtroom, Your Honor, thinking that LaConda was my child, when you came out with the results that I wasn't the father, and the biological father was supposed to be dead, and then he pops up, and then he's not the father. So, yeah, you have some doubt. You really do have some doubt.
So what you're saying is, when we were here in court to determine whether or not Ms. Casey was your biological daughter,
Yeah.
the circumstances and the stories and the testimony that you heard that day and you experienced that day caused you to then doubt, well, if she's not my biological child, is Ms. Webb really my biological child too?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because you were overwhelmed by the amount of lies and stories that had been told that weren't true.
Yes, Your Honor.
You wasn't there anyway. It shouldn't matter to you, so.
It does.
It shouldn't.
You don't understand, it does.
Mr. Edwards, I can tell, despite your absence from this young girl's life, and despite your inability to truly explain why you weren't there, I can tell you're hurting over this, because I was here during that last case with Ms. Casey, and I remember the testimony, and I can understand how you could walk out of that courtroom that day and say, anything I may have thought was the truth, after this day, I'm not sure what I believe about anything. And so I respect the fact that you came back into this courtroom to just say, I just need the truth all the way around. I just did figure this thing out. Knowing that you'd have to face a beautiful young woman that believed you were her father and had questions for you about where you had been.
I'm sorry that I wasn't in your life, Mimi. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
you're
really
not.
sorry. Yes, I am.
No.
You don't know. You don't know what went on.
How do you not?
You don't know what went on. Do you remember me when I came to the hospital, when you was in the hospital?
No.
Of course not.
No, the last memory I have of you was 13 years ago. When I met you in St.
What is that memory?
That I went to go meet him. I brought my daughter and my husband so we could meet him for the first time. And the whole time we were there, he just kept talking about how Miss Casey was his, how there's a possibility she could be his. I don't look like none of his kids, but she looks like him, and she looks like his kids. He doesn't know my birthday. He doesn't know my husband's name. He doesn't know none of his grandkids' names.
I'm sorry. I wasn't in your life like I needed to be. Things happen.
Well, I
You only have
believe you
one.
should have
You only-
tried a little bit harder. I mean, there's ways around that. You didn't want to be in my life.
I owe her so much. I wasn't part of her life. Not like I really wanted to be.
Why?
Because the mom moved away. I tried to find them. I go to their
You
grandparents.
could have tried a lot harder, though. I mean, a lot harder.
So, Ms. Webb, specifically,
I mean, he could have went to court to get visitation. He could have, there's ways he could have been a part of my life. He wasn't trying hard enough.
all your life you believed he was your biological
Yes,
father.
Your Honor.
And he missed out on everything. Tell
Yes, Your
him,
Honor.
what did he miss out on?
He missed out on my birthdays. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Don't apologize. Take your time. He did miss out on your birthdays, and what else?
He missed out on Christmas. He missed out on my first fall. He missed out on all his grandkids. He doesn't know any of my kids. All he could talk about was my sister. He didn't even want to get to know me or my daughter.
And how did that make you feel?
I was hurt because I drove 2.5 hours to meet him so that I can try to bond and build a relationship with him, but it didn't happen because he was too concerned about if LaConda was his or not.
Mr. Edwards, do you see the hurt on her face? Do you see?
Yeah, I feel bad about it, but past is past. I can't do that.
You could have tried harder. You have other kids. Aren't you a part of their lives? You have other kids.
Yes, I do.
You stay in contact with them.
Yes, I do.
You've never made an effort to stay in contact with me.
You disfriended me.
Because I don't want to hear about you wondering if Miss Casey is your daughter instead of you focusing on me.
It wasn't all.
So that's why I defriended you. That's why I just removed you from my life. I don't need that.
The interesting, sad thing about this is you grew up always knowing, believing this is your biological father.
He signed my birth certificate. I had his last name. He named me, but he didn't make any effort to be around.
And why didn't you try harder, Mr. Edwards? Did you know that she was doing all of this to try to build a relationship with you? She drove, did you know that? Or did it just pass you by because you were so focused on other things?
Passed me by because it's no excuse. It's no excuse. But I
don't believe there's an excuse,
it's not
but
an
it helps
excuse.
sometimes when you explain to someone that feels like you hurt them. Paint the picture so they could better understand what it is that happened.
It gets deeper than that, Your Honor.
Well, take me there.
Well, I'm gonna take you there. 20 years old, Mama just died. She was a police officer. She was murdered. Okay?
So sorry.
Came back from Arkansas to be with her mother. So we get married. We have my son, which is named after me. In that time, her older brother got taken away. Then my son comes along. He's 9 months old. He gets taken, and they change his name, his nationality, and everything. It changes everything. It's in court documents, it's the truth, period, comma, exclamation point. She told the judge that she could take her brother and shove him somewhere where the sun don't shine. Okay?
Those are all excuses.
No.
Yes, they are. They're excuses.
No, there ain't no excuse.
They are excuses.
You're here now because you're filled with doubts. So
Okay.
much drama, so many lies, and now you want the truth.
Yes, I'm.
But what are your hopes?
My hopes is that she could sit down with me and talk with me and forgive me for me not being there and let me be in her life.
I tried that 14 years ago.
No.
I tried it.
So, Mr. Edwards, you are hoping that she's your biological
I am.
daughter.
With whole heart, all my heart. And if you let me make it up to you, which I can't, the years that we lost, but we can with the years in the future.
I'm not ready for all the broken promises and
Broken promises.
yes, that you've made to me. Even when I try to be nice, I try to build a relationship with you, you don't try. You were too worried about my sister. Now she's not yours. Now you want to make a relationship with me.
No, I was trying to make a
I
relationship
don't
with
need,
you.
no, I'm doing fine. My husband, and my 3 kids are fine.
So, Ms. Webb, you entered the courtroom saying you hoped he was not your biological father.
Good.
Do you still feel the same way, or have
Yes.
your feelings changed?
No, I still feel the same way.
Okay, that's quite fine. She has a right to feel that way.
Right.
So now, do you have any idea who your biological father is if it is not him?
I might.
You said you might, Mr. Edwards? Am I clear, Mr. Edwards? You just said you might.
Yeah.
Without saying any names, Please, who do you think it could be?
My cousin.
Your cousin.
Mm-hmm.
You were aware that her mother also had a sexual relationship with your cousin?
I wasn't aware of it, but he was always around all the time.
Did you question at one point whether or not they were in a sexual relationship?
No, I never did that. I never questioned family.
Because he was your family?
That's it.
Well, Jerome, let's go to the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Edwards versus Webb, as it pertains to whether Mr. Edwards is the biological father of Mrs. Webb, it has been determined by this court that Mr. Edwards is not the father.
Wow. Whoa.
I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm not. I just believe that she was mine.
I can tell. So now 2 daughters you thought were yours, not yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Somehow Mr. Edwards steered the wrong way away from you, and he did miss out on a lot of beautiful years with you. However, now we're in the position where we know the real truth.
Right.
And I don't know if you have the strength, Ms. Webb, to continue a search. But if Mr. Edwards potentially has information that can help you,
No, I'm fine.
and if you
they have
are,
grandfathers that are around and take care of them. So
if you are, I respect that. And I wish you all the very best of luck. I'm so sorry that this didn't turn out favorably for you, Mr. Edwards. Now, Ms. Casey, I do have your results, and I'd like to see you in chambers to discuss them.
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck, everyone. Court is adjourned. So the court did track down your alleged father's brother, which would be your other possible father, Mr. John Hawkins. And he has been tested. The DNA test has been administered. And if you take a look over here, we have a video statement from him.
When I first seen LaConda was 5 years old. I am 100% sure I'm not LaConda's father. May God be with you and rest your mind, LaConda, but I am not your father.
So that's the first time you've ever seen this man.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you ready for the results?
Yes.
You are? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
As usual, these results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Casey versus Ewing, Edwards, and Hawkins, as it pertains to whether Mr. John Hawkins is the biological father of Miss Casey, it has been determined that Mr. John Hawkins is not your father. I'm sorry, honey. Were you just hoping it'd just be over?
It feels like I'm living in a bad dream. And one day I just wake up and everything be okay.
Ms. Martin, you say your ex, Mr. Damphier, is a cruel and petty little man who refuses to fully accept that he is the father of your 4-year-old daughter, Amaya. You claim Mr. Damphier's callous indifference towards your daughter has gone on for far too long, and you intend to prove paternity today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Damphier, you say Miss Martin was a serial cheater with a stable of men in her rotation. You say you have evidence that proves Miss Martin was stepping out on you, and there is no way you are Amaya's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Martin, I'll start with you. Why do you say Mr. Damphier is callous and cruel?
He treats my daughter like crap. He's also played favoritism. Amaya has told me on numerous times that she's sad that her dad don't love her.
Oh.
She did a video testimony of how she feels.
She did?
Yes.
And you submitted that to the court?
Yes, I did.
Let's take a look.
Dad is mean because he always makes me sad.
How does that make you feel?
He always makes me sad. I'm mad because my dad always makes me sad.
That's awful.
Yeah.
And that's what she repeats to you over and over again.
Yeah, and then I tell him, like, you need to change your attitude towards her and treat her like she's yours.
Only reason why I treat her that way is Amaya's like more better. I got other kids. She's like disobedient. She misbehaves, so I gotta treat her accordingly. Like, I don't just treat her any way.
But Miss Martin is saying, Mr. Damphier, you're playing favorites because of your paternity doubt. You're not giving Amaya the attention and love that she needs and deserves.
I feel I'm not the father. Amber's always messaging guys. She texts guys all the time. So I feel I'm not the father. I mean,
You are her father, and you know it. She looks just like you. I've never cheated on you, Anthony, and you know.
So what was the nature of your relationship with Mr. Damphier? Miss Martin, can you tell me that?
We started out as friends, and then we eventually became serious. And through our relationship, I discovered he wasn't honest. He was texting other females. He was talking to other females. He had 6 other girlfriends at the time.
6?
you were
6.
cheating on me. You always messaging people.
Yeah, and like I realized the car that he showed up into at my house was another female's.
So, Mr. Damphier, did you drive another girl's car to Miss Martin's house?
Yeah, that was my friend's car. We wasn't serious at the time. Like, we was just having sex, so I did.
So you admit you are a cheater?
No, I'm not a cheater.
6 girlfriends?
We were just basically having sex.
You and Miss Martin?
Yeah.
Well, what about you and the girl whose car it was?
That was my friend.
So your testimony is that Miss Martin is a cheater?
Yeah.
Even though we pretty much established that you running for president in that club.
No, Amber's a cheater. I got multiple reasons why I think I'm not the father. She always messaging guys. Like I said, I have for one instance, she came home late, and I was messenger calling her, like she never didn't respond. And then when she come home, her hair all messed up, smelling like sex. And
Wait, what?
I respond like, where you been at? She didn't have no proper excuse for where she been.
How long were you trying to reach her that day?
Over an hour and a half, and nothing till she got there. She didn't call me back, no text, nothing.
So, Miss Martin, you do have a smile on your face.
I
You're
do.
kind of smiling. You got a smirk.
No, he's crazy. Like, these are all his insecurities. I've never cheated on Anthony. I'm smarter than that to come home smelling like sex when I know he's there.
Well, she says she's smarter than that. She would have taken her shower before she came home.
Yes.
What do you have to say to that, Mr. Damphier?
That's not the only, there's more text messages. I have a text right here, and I have other text
How
messages.
did you find the text messages?
Well, she was going through my phone, so I got mad and went through her phone.
Okay, so what'd you
And
see?
She was messaging guys. I have evidence right here.
Let me see the evidence. Jerome, will you pass it to me, please?
Certainly. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You found messages. Other man says, come pull up and sit on my face. I want blank blank for breakfast. Miss Martin says, where you at? Mom's? Same house? Other man says, yup, so you coming? Ms. Martin says, yup, on the way, be there in 20. What's that emoji down there?
No, see, that was just conversation. I've never cheated on him.
That's not conversation.
Like, I never cheated on him.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I was thinking about going over there because after reading his text messages and stuff, I wanted to hurt him. But I decided not to go. And like I said, I've never cheated on Anthony.
But at 8:48, he asked you to sit on his face, and by 8:55, you was on your way in 20 minutes. That's 7 minutes.
Yeah.
That was 7 minutes exchange, and you had made a decision.
It was just conversation.
That's not
You don't even look
conversation.
like you're
There's-
telling the truth when you're saying it.
I know. It looks bad, but I've never cheated on you.
There's more.
Like,
There's even more text messages.
There's more?
Yes, there's more.
You brought them?
Yeah, I did.
Let me see those, Mr. Damphier.
There you go, sir.
You got another text message exchange. The other man says, good morning, baby. And Ms. Martin says, morning. Another man says, I want to see you again, love. And then Ms. Martin responds, when?
She said again. That means like you already seen him. So what do you mean?
he's somebody from my past. He's somebody from my past. When me and Anthony was not together, he's somebody from my past. I've never cheated on you, and you know that.
But why are you entertaining these men then?
Because he wasn't giving me the attention that I wanted.
So you admit these are the exchanges you're
Yes.
having with men.
That
But
was
you're
it.
saying from these exchanges, you've never gone
Never.
to see one of them.
Never, never.
And Mr. Damphier, you believe this is when she was cheating and this is when Amaya was conceived.
Yeah, around the same time.
Well, let's figure out if it is the same time. Let me get my conception calculator. When was Amaya born?
October 8th.
Yeah, 2015.
October 8th,
2015.
2015. All right. Then we'll press calculate. Date of intercourse, January 7th, January 22nd, 2015.
Correct.
So if we go back to the text message exchange, the dates on those, the first set is January 3rd, and then the second set is January 29th and February 1st. That is right in the window of conception.
Exactly,
It
the
is,
same time.
but I've never cheated on you, and you know that. Like, you are Maya's dad. That's
You
what-
like a broken record, Ms. Martin, because I've never cheated on you, and you know that. He doesn't know that.
Well, I've explained to him.
So, Ms. Martin, take me to the moment you found out you were pregnant.
When I found out I was pregnant, I let Anthony know I was pregnant. And his reaction, he was not thrilled.
I had other kids. I had 2 other kids at that time.
Okay, we were having sex without using condoms. What happens when you have sex without using condoms? A baby can occur.
I never finished. Every time we used to have sex, I used to pull out for a whole year.
Okay.
And you never got pregnant.
That is not foolproof birth control. No birth control is, but that's one of the worst methods.
Yes, he denied her immediately. As soon as I told him, he was like, okay, well, whatever.
Because I'm not the father.
You are her father, Anthony. She looks just like you.
Can you tell the court how that made you feel, having your first child with a man you thought would want the child as much as you did?
It made me feel like crap. Like, I wish I've never met him.
And you've had to live with that as you've been raising your daughter by yourself.
Yes.
How
and-
hard has it?
I mean, he's there. He takes care of her, but he mistreats her. He plays favoritism. And it affects
That's
her.
not true, Amber.
You play favoritism.
That's not true.
So, where are you all in a relationship now? Are you still together?
I don't know. He's with me when he wants to be.
We're not together.
Okay, we're not together.
Are you still having sex?
Yeah, we had sex last night.
We'll see them in 9 months, Jerome. They'll be back.
Book them now.
So you all still having sex.
Yes.
and you say you are on and off, and he says you're off.
Yeah, he says that, but then his actions is otherwise.
How? You say he's mistreating your child.
Yeah, he mistreats her.
Well, how do you lay down with a man who mistreats your child?
Good question. Good question.
Now, I mean, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
What day is that sexy?
No more.
All right. So, Mr. Damphier, besides the text messages, can you explain to the court your other doubt?
But Amber tells me I'm not the father of the baby.
I have said that.
She told
Being
me.
You
spiteful.
told him
I
he's
have.
not the father?
And then I showed him
And
a
then
random.
she showed me a picture of a guy and said, "This is Amaya's dad." And
Oh
they look,
my
they look more alike than me and her. Like they resemble each other more than we do.
And you admit you did it, Miss Martin.
I did.
So what are you trying to get from this?
And I apologized to him for that was disrespectful. I did that out of spite. Like he had really made me mad after mistreating my child. I told him, "You're not her father anymore. We don't need you." And we don't.
So if you tell a man that he's not the father, how do you expect him not to doubt after that? I mean, I've heard of women, that's bad enough. We always say you cannot unring that bell. When a woman says, you're not the father anyway. Well, the man's never gonna forget that. I don't care, 365 days, 1,000 days from now, 10 years from now, he'll never forget the day you said, you're not the father, unless he has a DNA test that proves what the truth is.
Yeah.
But I have a never, you hear me? Have we, Jerome? Ever, in 7 years in this courtroom, had a woman pull up a picture and say, not only are you not the father, he is, but it be a fictitious man, like somebody you don't even know.
I didn't know him. It was a random picture on Facebook. I was scrolling and I told him that this is her dad. And he knows that.
You look like the ex too, your ex.
I have not messed with him since 2012. And that's what I keep like coming down to. You are her father and you
and
know
then
it.
what about the guy that asked you to sit on his face? How about him?
I don't deal with him. Like when me and Anthony split up, yeah, I talked to him. And that was that. And he was messing with other people when we split up. But once me and Anthony established that we were serious, all of that stopped. Like sexual wise, all of it stopped. I was only dealing with him and he knows that.
I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, you're the only person that I slept with. I have not cheated on you.
Were you hoping to get caught with the messages? Were you trying to make him jealous?
I was, honestly. I wanted him to see those. I wanted him to see how it felt. But I didn't get a reaction out of him. The reaction that I was looking for.
You haven't been getting a reaction all day.
Yeah, he's unbothered.
Yes, very. I think the only way we're gonna move forward is to get the results. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Martin versus Damphier, when it comes to 4-year-old Amaya Damphier, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Damphier, you are the father.
Exactly. Like he knows that.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Amber.
I appreciate the fact that you apologize, Mr. Damphier, but you're gonna have to apologize to another person too. And I see the way you're looking at her and the emotion in your eyes that you feel some level of regret about that. What are you feeling?
I just feel bad for her. I just feel heartbroken that I haven't been there like I should have.
Look at this video.
Dad is mean because he always makes me sad. He always makes me sad.
You see that?
Yeah.
4. That is tragic. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
And that goes for you too, Miss Martin. That video? And then you was with him last night?
Yeah.
Girl, what the old folks say, you going out the world ass backwards. That don't make no kind of sense.
It doesn't.